What up, world? It's your boy G Lewis, coming at you with some questions that we were asked, and we've been really busy, so we apologize that we haven't been able to do the shows on them, but we wanted to make sure that you're not forgotten, so we want to address them. I'm going to do this, and my boy G Williams is going to do the same thing, and we're going to address some of these questions that we were given. This one is from Alina Hughes, and her question, thanks Alina, it says, just curious to know what happened to the respect towards each other, male and female. It seems like the respect has disappeared on both ends. Males downplaying females, females downplaying males. Why is it so hard for us as blacks to unite and uplift each other and treat each other with respect? Just wondering. I notice a lot on social media and in life, period. This is a real deep question. And there isn't one answer, I don't think. I think there are multiple answers, but I'm going to give you G. Lewis's answer. And here it goes. I'm going to give it to you in some stages. Stage one is we have a misdefinition of each other, which contributes to our inability to respect each other. Meaning, there are stereotypes that we believe as fact of life because they've been ingrained in us for so many years. Like, all men are dogs. Black men are useless. They don't work. They don't like to work. They're not committed. They're not good fathers. They're not in the homes with their kids. Black women are mean. Black women are disrespectful. Black women don't know how to please a black man, and black women are angry, and they argumentative. Right? All of these stereotypes that we believe before we even interact with each other, because they've become an ingrained part of our society, because we're being told from the outside of our community that this is true about us instead of defining ourselves for ourselves. So that's one that contributes to it, because if I already think that you're an argumentative black woman when I first meet you, imagine how that first date is going to go. Anytime you don't agree with something I say, I have already said in my head, oh, here go another angry, bitter black woman. And this is what we do. We reinforce this all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some bitter women out there. And there's some ain't shit men out there. But we talking about something that's been told about across the board. And we got to stop allowing ourselves to believe it and feed into it. Okay? By reinforcing it with ourselves, each other, and our kids, because we do that. We know we do it, so it's time to stop that. That's number one. Number two, which I think is really, really big, is we don't have a connection to each other as a people. Now, what do I mean by that? How can you build a community without respect? If I don't have a sense of connection to you, if I don't have a sense of connection to your kids, even if I don't know you or I've never met you, then how can I be willing, or how would I be willing to do something that benefits you or look at you as part of the solution for me? Here's what I mean by that. Dr. King never met me. Never met me. I never had the privilege to meet him. Yet he marched so that I would have privileges today. He marched so that I would have entitlements to civil liberties today. He marched and spoke so that I would be entitled to have a life that he felt like I deserved. And the man never met me. Now, not only did he do that for me, but he did that for all African Americans, all minorities. He did that. Yet he never met us because he had a sense of connection to us. He had a sense of connection to his community. And we don't do that. I said in the last video we did, my parents did a really good job of connecting me to my community with everything that I did. When they asked me when I was a kid, what did I want to be when I grew up? If I said a football player, they said, great. How are you going to use that to help your community? If I said I wanted to be a lawyer, they said, great. How are you going to use that to help your community? If I said I wanted to be a musician, they said, great. How are you going to use that to help your community? How many of us do that for our kids? How many of us do that for ourselves? When we're planning out our goals and our dreams and what we want to do in life, how many of us connect ourselves to our community in what it is that we do and are supposed to be doing? If I don't have a sense of connection to you, why would I have a sense of respect for you? That's two. Final one is this, and this one is probably the biggest one to me. We don't have a sense of respect for ourselves. I mean, be careful what you answer to. That's my nigga. That's my bitch. That's my nigga. That's my bitch. And I've heard all the excuses and the explanations, and we taking the power back from the word and blah, 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 blah. That's bull. The reality is you live in a nation that has defined those terms as negative. There's nothing about those terms that's positive, yet we use them to reinforce to each other that we ain't shit. That's really what we do. We use those terms to reinforce to each other that we are worthless. That's my bitch. Well, we know what a bitch is defined as. We know what it's defined as in Webster Dictionary and in the hood. And I'm not just saying women, men can be bitches too. Right? So when we call each other that, we know there's nothing positive associated with it, but we have so little humility. We think if I'm doing it, how could it be wrong? I'm doing it, so there's nothing wrong with it. When the reality is you're human. So you always have the possibility of doing something wrong and should be willing to examine it as such. So be careful what you answer to. If you don't respect you, how can you expect others to respect you? So what I would say is moving forward, make a decision and a commitment to respect those who look like you, to respect yourself first and respect those who look like you, and show them respect, because respect is something that's taught. It's not something that's automatic. And a lot of people in our society have not been taught respect, because that's the kind of society we live in. So those are my little points. I know this was a little long. Hope I hit the points. If you got any questions, feel free to jump back on this one, throw some information back. Once again, thank you, Alina, for the question. And if you like it, share it. There might be some people who need to hear it. You never know. You can't change the world unless you do something to change the world. So this is my little piece. This is G. Lewis. Talk to you later.